Hi, I'm Rob from Raspberry Running. Hope you're doing well and training hard. We have an exciting shoe review today from the original running brand based in the US, Saucony. This is the Saucony Xodus Ultra. As the title suggests, this shoe is made to go long. Saucony's description of this shoe says, "For those who see the horizon and dare to explore further, meet the Xodus Ultra. Specifically designed for the long haul, it's the ultra comfort you desire for the ultra distance you demand." I think that covers off the shoe's purpose quite well, but before we dive into the shoe, stats and the features, let's take a look at what happened when I took this shoe for a first run a couple of weeks ago. Hi guys, happy Wednesday. I'm out for my midweek middle distance run today, and it's the first run in the Saucony Xodus Ultra shoes. So yeah, looking forward to getting some mileage in these and seeing how that goes. But already I can feel the fit is totally different compared to the Xodus 11, or at least in my opinion. Definitely feels snugger, not so roomy as the Xodus 11. So we'll see how that behaves with my wide feet. But one thing I can say is that the traction appears to be spot on already, and I've only run a mile or so in it. You can already feel the traction, which is pretty similar to the previous version. And the weight of the shoe, massive difference. You can feel that straight away. I've run in the Xodus 11 now for some time, the previous version of the shoe. Done a couple of ultras in it, and I can already tell that the weight of the shoe is going to be a big factor when running this shoe over distance. So we'll see. I'm going to do 12 miles today, so that'll be giving me some sort of indication about how it's going to feel on my foot. But I guess only time will tell as the mileage increases, and got a good long run on Sunday to test that out as well. So I'll catch up with you soon. So coming up to 9 miles in the shoe now, and it's feeling pretty good. The midsole is, I would say, is a bit softer than the Xodus 11. They did say that they made the soft compound more softer, and definitely the insole as well feels a bit softer on first appearance. Yeah, get done. I'm going to get these last few miles done, and then I'll catch you at the end. So that's just under 12 miles done for today. And the Xodus Ultras felt pretty good. Definitely a difference between the Xodus Ultra and the Xodus 11 straight out of the box. The Xodus 11 I could put on my feet and go and run a marathon or a 50k quite easily, no problems. No sore feet or anything. So that was what I found great about that shoe. I think the Ultras are going to require 2 or 3 bedding runs just to get them to the same point where I can go out and run a 50k. So fortunately my next Ultra isn't until the 2nd of July, so I've got a few weeks of running, so I'll get some mileage in these shoes, soften them up a bit. And it's nothing to do with the midsole, although I think the midsole is softer than the Xodus 11. I think it will become even more softer as I bed that shoe in. It's more about the upper. I think the upper just needs a few miles to get that give in it, and then the shoe will be absolutely fine. I have no doubt about that. I've run 12 miles comfortably today. I don't have any sore feet or anything like that. I can just feel it's a little bit tighter than what it was when I took the Xodus 11 out of the box. So that's the difference, but all in all a good run. I've run the shoe on a mixture of terrain today. Just finished half a mile of concrete. Shoe felt bouncy, with plenty of return in the midsole there. I've also run it on rock, and stone, sandy trails, mud, wet tree routes. We've had a lot of rain the last couple of days, and grass as well. So a complete mixture of terrain. The shoe's handled all of it very well for the first run. Obviously it's only 12 miles. I need to get quite a lot more miles in the shoe before I see how it's going to perform. and particularly how well the upper and the materials are going to hold up on the long term, the durability of the shoe. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes. I am going to be running that Ultra in these shoes, so that'll be a really good test for the shoe, and I can finish off with a full review in a few weeks' time. But have a good Wednesday and a good rest of your week. So a very positive experience for the first run in the shoe, and since that day I've put 50 miles in the Xodus Ultra and completed a 25-mile run without irritation, hot spots or any discomfort really at all. We'll come to some of my comments that I made in the video in a bit, but first let's take a look at the features and the stats of this new shoe. The Saucony Xodus Ultra has basically gone on a full redesign. Overall, this shoe's got a big diet. It weighs in at 293 grams, and that's a 43 grams less than the Xodus 11, the previous shoe. It runs off a 6mm offset. It's got 32.5mm in the heel and 26.5mm in the toe. And it retails for £140 there or thereabouts, depending on which website. So it's not cheap, but it is in line with today's shoe market, and importantly, there's no price increase from the Xodus 11. The outsole has an improved rock plate. We'll go through that in a moment. The previous model had a great rock plate, so this is going to be a very good upgrade. There's a reduced lug depth on the outsole, going from 5mm to 4.5mm, just to get that extra comfort for the long distances. And there's been increased lug spacing as well for greater stability and less chance of debris getting stuck in the bottom of your shoes in the lugs. There's a brand new 3-piece power track outsole for incredible grip and increased flexibility. The midsole's been totally redesigned from the previous model. There's a full-length ultra-light power run PB midsole, which is where most of the weight savings come from really. There's added durability and resilience in the power run frame, which is what the midsole has been built on. And the brand new 6mm last for more forgiving ride over long distances. And then moving on to the upper. There's a stripped back upper with fewer overlays. We'll go through all of these in a moment. Saucony says that the Xodus Ultra has a roomier toe box. We'll come back to that in a moment, based upon my comments on the video. There's contour sock liner which hugs your foot for a perfect fit. There's a new debris shield across the top where the laces are there, which aims to keep out trail debris. And the new upper's been made from recycled materials, which is obviously very good. So making the shoe more eco-friendly, less carbon, etc. And the shoe does have gaiter attachments as well. So if you like to wear gaiters, then this shoe will be good for that. Okay, so just going through my experiences of the shoe. We'll just go through it in sections really. So overall, I think the big thing really to notice is the weight. So I've been running in the Xodus 11 for some time now. I've done several ultras in this shoe. It weighed in at 330 odd grams, something like that. I mean, there's a 43 gram reduction in the two shoes, and you're just holding them up, you can really feel the difference. And on the run, as I mentioned in the video, for the first run, there was such a difference in the weight of the shoe, which can only be a good thing when you're going to be running lots and lots of miles in it. So that's really positive. 6mm offset, yeah, I mean that was great. Felt very, very comfortable. No problems there. So that's all good. The price, go back to that, £140. Unfortunately, it's standard these days. Time to put those the price for those sort of shoes. You can obviously get some good bargains out there, some cheaper. I mean, this shoe now, the Xodus 11, you can buy for £80. Obviously, because it's previous model. But if you can't afford the brand new one, the Xodus 11 is still a really good shoe. So something to think about maybe if you're strapped for cash. There are bargains to be had out there. And I noticed there were some websites selling this for 130, 140. So I think if you shop around, you'll get a good price. So something to note. If we start on the shoe for the outsole, they say they got a new improved rock plate. Well, the rock plate in the previous model, which you can see just about through the bottom of the shoe, I'm not sure you can see that if it shows on camera, was very good. It's a nylon rock plate, did the job very well, and apparently they've made that better. So I mean, I had no issues out on the run when I was running over the rocks. Very comfortable, nothing penetrated through the top of that midsole. Through there you can see the rock plate there in the grooves, hopefully. And I don't know what's made that better, and why they're saying it's better, but yeah, I think it's very good. So no complaints there on the rock plate. Reduced lug depth. I never actually had any issue with the lug depth in these running Ultras. However, the lugs were closer together, which may have helped spread the impact. These lugs are a lot further apart, and I understand why they've changed the lug depth. Obviously spreading it out means that you don't get debris caught in there, and that did happen a little bit with these. Not a lot, but a little bit. And also if you're spreading them out, I guess the rider will be more stable, so that can only be a good thing, I think. So no issues there, but I think the 4.5mm lugs will make it very comfortable over long distances. As I said, I ran 25 miles in this, no issues at all with that, which is great. So yeah, all in all very good. And the Power Track rubber is incredibly sticky. There's never any issues with grip on this. This is one thing that stands out in the Saucony range. It's crossed over from the Peregrine as well, so brilliant grip on this, so really happy with that. And then the last thing I suppose about the outsole is the fact that they've changed it from being an all-in-one outsole, so full rubber across, to split into three. Now this is meant to help with flexibility. Maybe it does. I mean, in the center there you've got the EVA midsole there, so you've got the sponge, so maybe that will help soften the shoe up when you're going across terrain which is, you know, it's not stable. So yeah, maybe that will help you your foot flexing through as you're running through those trails. So that's really good. Going on to the midsole, this is where most of the weight savings been made, in my opinion. Having that total different power run PB compound in there has been great. It's very comfortable. If I take out the inner, you will see that this contributes a lot to the comfort of the shoe. So let's pull that out there. I hope you can see that, but look at the thickness on that shoe, on that liner. It's incredibly thick, spongy and comfortable. Very much like the boomerang soles that you get in Innovate shoes. This is what makes the shoe really comfortable. The midsole here isn't that soft, but when you partner it with this insole, it becomes a very comfortable ride. So just pop that back in there. So they've got a power run frame, a newly built power run frame for this shoe, making it more stable. And as I mentioned before, the 6mm drop in here is aimed at basically making things a lot more comfortable for you over distance, and that's evident in the mileage that I've run in it so far. The upper, now this is an interesting bit. So first of all, let's just go through the upper here. There are not many overlays, they've been stripped back. You do have a rubberized toe bump here for protecting yourself in case you kick a rock, so that's absolutely fine. There's a lot less though overlays around the rest of the shoe. You've got a Saucony sign here, the logo. You've got a few overlays on this side, and then all around the lace eyelets you've got overlays. And they've got this little pulley tab system here which the laces go through. That was absolutely fine, had no issues with there, no issues with lockdown. Very comfortable. Your foot felt like it was hugged really well. But in terms of the durability of the shoe, that will be really interesting. If I go back to the Xodus 11, I've done about 450 miles in this pair of Xodus 11 shoes now. You can see this is where that shoe was starting to go. On the other foot that I had, I actually have a wider left foot than the right, so I have a bunion on it, and that actually split there. And this shoe has a lot more overlays and the rubberized pieces around the side here, so it'll be interesting to see how the Xodus Ultra holds up with less overlays. I totally get the idea of removing the overlays though. It will cause less friction, it will make the upper more comfortable for long distances, so that's a positive thing I think in my book, so that's good. Back to the roomier toe box. When I mentioned in the video that I thought these were tighter on my foot than the previous model, and the Xodus 11, I could take those out of the box, slip them on, and it was like a glove to my foot, and then just go run miles in it and have no issues at all. This one I didn't get the same feeling out of the box. However, I've now come to realise that I think that is from the contoured sock liner rather than the width of the toe box itself. If I hold the two shows up, the Xodus 11 and the Ultra, you'll see there's not a lot of difference there. And again, the toe box. So I actually think that the reason that it feels tighter to begin with is simply because of the sock liner. Now, this shoe does have, it's not a full sock liner, it's kind of like a half sock liner. You won't be able to see that, but it's well gusseted. The tongue is not very thick and padded, but it's padded enough. Very, very comfortable, no issues with laces pulling through the top of the shoe. But it really does hug your foot really well, and that's what gives this shoe a great fit. So the sock liner is a really good addition in my opinion. And then they mentioned this debris shield. Here, this piece of, you see this blue piece of fabric goes just over where the tongue goes through, and it acts as a shield to stop debris getting in all this area. You can still get debris in the back of the heel and things like that, but otherwise this acts as a pretty good debris shield. You still get bits and bobs in, but nowhere near as much as what you would, so that's really good. If we quickly move back towards the back of the shoe, the heel counter, very well structured, nicely padded, not overly padded, just nicely padded around there, just about the right amount of padding. This is nice and firm here where the heel counter is, but it's not too firm. You're not going to get any Achilles rubbing on there. You can see there's a bit of movement in the back there where you've got the pull tab. Just around the back of the shoe, there's the Xodus Ultra sign and just some protected overlays there, just to keep the shoe from wearing down and keeping you nice and stable, giving you a nice ride. The apple's been made from recycled materials, and this material is very thin and breathable. No issues with hot feet at all, which is good. So thumbs up there. And I mentioned they've got the gator hooks here, so you've got a gator attachment on there as well if you want to use this shoe with gaiters. So overall, a really, really positive run in this shoe. I think it's been designed exactly what how they said it's been designed. I think it's exactly how it will perform. It's incredibly comfortable. So absolutely no issues running this in my Net Ultra, which I'm going to do next week. So really looking forward to that. So this shoe comes in two colours. This one's sapphire blue and Vizzy red. There's another colour which will come up on your screen as well in a moment, and that is acid blue raz. Interesting names, but I actually like the look of the acid blue raz one better, but I couldn't get hold of that one. So I think, yeah, that's it for this, but I think this is an incredible shoe. I think Saucony have had an incredible year with running shoes. They've launched some really good running shoes this year, such as the Ride, the Guide. You've got the new Endorphin series coming as well. Yeah, they've done an incredible job. So I've left a link in the description for this shoe below if you want to find out more about the Saucony Xodus Ultra, or you want to purchase a pair for yourself. So just to mention, I've got the Salmon Serpent Trail 100k race coming up next week, and that's for the RBR charity for Haven House Hospice. There's a link in the description below, or you can go to robsonrunning.com if you'd like to donate to that charity. I'm only £80 away from reaching my £500 target, so if you could donate, that would be absolutely amazing. Thank you very much. And next week we've got a pre-race video coming up for the Salomon Serpent Trail, so look out for that on YouTube on the channel. And I think that's it though for today. We will have another review on the channel soon. I hope you found this review interesting, and I hope you found it useful. If you liked this video, please subscribe and hit the like button below. This channel's only been going for a few months, so it would be really help us out and gain more traction so I can keep bringing you better videos in the future. But thanks for watching. Train hard, race hard, have fun. See you next time.